Like they're
right. Like they tell their story like a motivational speaker would.
not necessarily because a motivational speaker.
I'm just fucking around.
No, because no. I'm getting the fucking into this, dude. No, motivational speakers. That's the difference. Is that if you write a story and write it out as a book, you can choose to read it. A motivational speaker at a fucking sales conference with a pilot. That's where it pisses me off. Where I'm like,
I know. I'm just fucking with you, bro.
why does that have to be a thing? Like, why does get it? If you're gonna have someone speak at a fucking sales conference, make sure they're in business or actually sell. Like actually sell.
Oh my
like
God.
do like if they sell or market. Like tell
Yeah,
me.
like
tell
I
me-
was a top salesman at Salesforce or something.
I would have respected that. Like I would have 100. Oh yeah, I started this business and got this many clients so I could start this business. And then you say why you did that. That would be so much more useful than any of this fucking bullshit about a plane. Welcome. Oh, gee.
And we're back.
Welcome back to the Gain Experience podcast, Experience EXP podcast, where we talk about
Anime, gaming, fitness, or whatever we want to.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
There we go. I was beatboxing earlier, boots and cats and all the cats and boots and puss and boots and stuff. And I was just remembering that one time. If you want to share it, I'm just gonna expose you right now.
What is it? What are you talking about?
Wanted to be a
rapper?
A rapper.
Well, I actually had different phases. I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be an EDM artist. I wanted to just make beats at one point. So, yeah, I mean, like music's interesting though. We've been artists for forever. So.
Can you show? Can you give us?
Nope. I knew what you were gonna say, and I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, well,
I cannot do that.
Okay,
if this video gets 100 likes, I'll do a whole choreography rap bit that's 2.5 minutes long.
You'll do a whole cipher
in the form of a music video too, and I'll make it about whatever topic you want.
I want or they want.
The top comment.
Top comment wants.
All
right.
I don't care if it's fucked up, mean, or
it's about domestic
just
girlfriend.
dumb. I've never seen Domestic Girlfriend, so I can only talk about. Well, actually, I don't even want to say that out loud. Top comment, 100 likes. It'll happen eventually, so we'll have to do it. But until that moment happens, it's not gonna happen. So
we will. All right. Okay.
I'm saying this video will eventually get 100 likes.
All right. Well, as an EDM artist, if you were an EDM artist, what type of EDM artist archetype would you be? Because there's like different types. You know, there's like the dubstep. Crazy, guys, and then there's like the melodic guys, and then there's like Porter Robinson, who is a guy.
Literally, it's his name. I don't know. I haven't really thought of it, to be honest. I think that stuff like comes naturally. I would never like force that, so I don't know. I don't have a preference. I like all EDM. I listen to it all.
I feel like you would be a Porter Robinson type guy. I feel like you would. No, other than the fact that you look like a short hair version of him.
He's got a big nose though. I've got like a tiny ass nose. He does have a fat. Compared to that man.
That man has a fat noser.
Dude, he does. Huh? Yeah.
Bro used to lie a lot in his life. Dude was Pinocchio, and then he became a real boy, and he became an EDM DJ.
Google images Porter Robinson's nose, and I'm sure you'll get something that comes up. Right
we love
away.
you, Porter Robinson.
Well, I'm a super mega fan, but dude, you got a big nose.
Dude, you got it's a lovely schnauzer.
Dude, I've seen him like 4 times live now. It's like maybe 5 times now, but
4 or 5?
Yeah, once at Cal State Fullerton. I saw him once when he came to Orange County. I saw him another time when we saw him in San Diego. I saw him one other time. I'm trying to remember. I've seen him 4 times. So, anyways.
Is that the artist you've seen the most?
Yeah, probably.
Porter Robinson?
Yeah, Swedish House Mafia is number 2. I've seen them 3 times. So.
When did you see Swedish, other than Coachella?
Before I met you, I went to see him twice. I went to go see him up in San Bernardino, and then I saw them at Coachella, and then I saw them in San Bernardino again. They keep going back there.
I'm sorry. Their real name is Swedish House and the Mafia.
Swedish House and the Mafia.
So, okay, I realized something, that every single EDM like group, or like every single EDM person that is like is actually 2 people, and it's just a group. It's like a partner. It's always like Daft Punk. It's just Daft and Punk, and then there's Swedish House and the Mafia. It's 2 guys. Is it 3 guys? Is it 3 guys or 2 guys?
It's 3.
3 guys. Swedish House.
Swedish and House and the Mafia.
Swedish.
The House and the Swedish and the Mafia.
The Sweet and Dish and and then Porter and the Robinson.
Mm-hmm. The Gain EXP and the Fitness.
The Gain and the EXP.
Dude, we haven't recorded a podcast in like 3.5 weeks. What have you been up to in that time? Like it's like ironic because we didn't go on vacation or anything like that. We've traveled, but like it's not like it's Christmas. But we haven't recorded anything in 3.5 weeks. What have you been up to? That would be like before Valentine's Day, right? Or no, it's right before a week before Valentine's Day is when we did our last one. Today is March 13th, so it's been like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Was that the last podcast we recorded? Was
yeah,
the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah, because we were talking about like
Valentine's
lovey-dovey,
Day.
whatever,
like relationship
stuff.
shit.
It's been a crazy ass ride. We've just been like grinding at it, and it's just been a lot of work on both of our ends for both of us, and in general, just like, dude, I can't think of exactly what I did the last month. It's just been a crapshoot of shit, and it's just like it's just a bunch of shit that happened, and we're just like going at it. I mean, he asks, "What have you been doing?" But he knows what I've been doing.
Oh yeah,
with each
I
other.
know.
Yeah,
I know
like,
what you've been up to. I know you were in Washington D.C.
Yeah, like we do this thing sometimes where we ask each other like questions we know the answers of, to make sure that we put it out there, because it wouldn't make sense if we just have to randomly bring it up.
Yeah, I know. We'd just be talking normal at that point, because it'd just be like, oh my God, my favorite thing at Washington, D.C. And then we turn the camera. Whoops. Sorry, guys. We didn't say that we were in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, we were both in Washington, D.C. We were just like busy with work, and we have like a big... I think by the time this comes out, I'll probably get this out within a week. But like by the time this gets out, we're updating website. We started streaming, which was probably the biggest thing for me to adjust to, is like balancing streaming on top of everything else, and then the cooking videos and everything, and then just like getting new ideas out there for the cooking videos. I think by the time this comes out, I'll have it posted. But like just a bunch of different shit is coming out.
So how is streaming over at JorJor_EXP at twitch.com or twitch.tv/JorJor_EXP? How has that been for you?
It's been weird. It's a weird experience starting to stream. It's like it's fun. It's definitely fun, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. But I will say I do completely understand now. I remember watching Let's Plays as a kid, right? Mm-hmm. One of my favorite Let's Players was do you know Chugga Conroy?
Nope. Who's that?
He was like a Nintendo Let's Player. I still think he does it, but
cool.
He was a Nintendo Let's Player, and we were just like, he was a guy I would just always like just put out and watch, because he was super chill. He was super he was also super family friendly, because it was all Nintendo shit. Mm-hmm. And so he always says, I guarantee you it's so much harder to play with a camera on and we're recording.
Like as a live stream?
Yeah,
like that?
And I was like, and I never understood what he meant. I literally had a flashback of that when I was playing Genshin, and I was streaming it, and I was fighting a boss, and I was sucking ass.
Oh, and you had like 12 people watching you, and you're like, oh my God.
I was like fucking, I was trying to pay attention to like what people are saying, and then trying to play at the same time, because it's not a turn-based game. Like you can't sit in, like, it's not like Fire Emblem, it's not like Persona, it's not like Pokemon where you like,
you have like a moment to make a decision.
Yeah, no, you can even figure it out. You're just literally going. It's real time. And so like when I was like fighting this boss, I looked over a second, and suddenly one of my characters dead. And I was like, one of them disappeared in the ether, and I was like, well, fucking balls. Like there's that.
Back in the day, I used to stream Counter-Strike, and good news, bad news, I have ADHD. Good news, I'm able to just go and look back and forth between chat and play video games at the same time. Bad news, sometimes I'd look at chat, and then I would just like talk into a void as I'm looking at my screen because I'm trying to play the video game, and I literally would not even answer this person's question. Or like I started talking about some random ass shit that doesn't even make sense, because like
there was
it's hard. So.
I was what's it called? I remember seeing, I think, a speedrunner do like a speedrunner of Mario Odyssey, do a Mario Odyssey speed run, and then he was still talking to chat while I was doing and addressing everything as he's going at like fucking Mach 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how in the fucking way did you do that? Do you do that? Because I would be literally like zip. I would be in the zone. Like how would.
Well, I could tell you as a speedrunner in the community, I feel like once you know what it is that you have to do every single time, sorry, text zone going off. As soon as you know exactly what to do in a speed run, you just kind of like, you just don't even look at like anything. You just look at dead center on the screen and everything else just becomes like second nature. You just know what's going to come. You know what enemies are there. So I think it's just like one of those second nature type deals.
So what's so you've been I know you have been recently doing like the Hades, retrying to getting back into Hades before Hades 2 comes out, and trying to do the the 32 Fire Emblems run.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
the Lord of the Rings runs.
Here's the thing is I wouldn't say getting back into Hades because unfortunately Hades never leaves me. Like I always think about it even when I'm not playing it. I'm just so obsessed with that game. It's fucking phenomenal. But yeah, I'm doing 32 heat this week, which is supposed to be, it's not like the true hardest difficulty. Like I think you can go up to like 60 heat or something. Yeah. By the way, listening, for those that don't know, heat is like, it's like basically a scale to 1 to 60. 60 is the hardest. Yeah. It's like 60 degrees, 0 degrees, everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 0 degrees would be easiest. 60 degrees would be like the hardest.
Yeah.
It's like that's around the range. And right now I'm doing 32 heat. So I'm like working my way up to 60, but 32 is really tough. It sounds like it would be in the middle the way I described it, but like it's fucking tough. So
so max is 60?
Yeah, max is 60, but like the community max is 32. Like
why is it not 60? Is
like
it just that fucking hard?
It's 60 is like impossible. Like you can't just be a speedrunner like me. You have to know like it's less about speedrunning. It's more about like, it's supposed to be RNG as a game, but the RNG so good that you're like, oh, these are the enemies that are in this room. And you instantly just know what to do. And I'm not there. It's just more like I can clear a room super fast. Yeah. And then I can just move on to the next one. But like, I don't know everything about it. So
you think you'd speedrun Hades 2 when it comes out?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah.
Do you know when it's coming out?
Not for a while. It's like 1.5 years or something, or 2 years. So
really, I thought it was coming out soon. I thought it was this year.
No, I wish. I got hyped though for Hades 2 because I played so much Hades 1. It's like kind of dumb. With the exception of a Pokemon game, Dota 2, Counter-Strike, and Hades are the only games I've ever put in more than 1,000 hours into.
What do you think? Okay. What do you think is the dumbest game to speedrun? What do you think is a game?
Like tic-tac-toe? I don't know.
Competitive tic-tac-toe?
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of the worst, like not the worst game, but the dumbest game. Like what's this game where you have the 2 fingers and you play with somebody else and you sticks?
Like
that's a game. I'm sure there's a speedrun category.
There's a video game.
Hold on, I'm looking this up.
There's a speed run for Cooking Mama 2.
Are you gonna try and do it?
Hell fucking no, I'm not. Not on a computer. Hell no.
Okay, here's the thing about it though. I'm gonna say this lightly, but once you know how to speedrun one video game, it's fucking weird. But you can just speedrun any video game after that. It's fucking weird. I could speedrun Cooking Mama probably.
Okay, no, I don't doubt that.
It would take me like a month, but I could probably get on the leaderboards.
All right, next up is you speedrunning Mario Sunshine.
I could. Oh, dude, that's probably a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Because like, there's probably like glitches because that game's older. But I have it on my Switch, so
that'd be a fun one to do.
That would be.
I'm asking because I remember. So I was playing. I remember someone was like talking about speedrunning Fire Emblem, and I was like, bro, that sounds like such ass to do. And also, I'm like, there's like, because it's I'm not sure if this makes sense, but the AI for Fire Emblem, like understanding where they are, I would not be able to fully understand how that would function, because it's like the AI does its own thing. Mm-hmm. Like it makes its own chess movements, and then to fully understand what those chess movements are, and then react to them immediately seems like a really, I'm not sure if it's a tough skill, probably a tough skill, but like I'm not sure if there's like different algorithms or things you would play around that, but I don't really know exactly how that would work. I mean, I guess you could say no, because like the thing about like say like Persona or like a turn-based game like Pokemon, right? You can kind of
You can predict what they're gonna do.
you can predict what you're doing, but like predicting a whole entire chess match, right? I'm not sure. Maybe that's just like that's just like next level skill, or that's just something else.
That's like a lot of games though. Like if you think about it, like Hades is like that too. Like you never know which direction the characters are gonna go and like what move. Like you know what the move is gonna be, but like it's like kind of RNG though the whole way.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, like roguelike games, because it's a very luck based. Dude,
yeah,
it's
it
like,
is.
It's basically speedrunning gambling.
Dog, I literally reset like 15 times sometimes before like I get a good one, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can actually try now. Like sometimes I kill myself on purpose 15 times in a row until like I get a good start, and then I'm like, okay.
Actually, you know what I just thought of for it would be a funny speedrun.
Huh?
Speedrunning like a gacha game.
Huh?
It's like
like complete random drops and stuff. What would the speedrun be like? You unlock the most.
I don't know. Like
what
would be the speed run, right? Like
I have no idea.
Speed run to broke. Like
by the way, the speed run record for tic tac toe is 4 seconds and 933 milliseconds.
How did
on iPhone? So it's like an iPhone game.
So
so like I don't know if that means that.
How many rounds do you need to beat in?
Dude, there's only 3 people on this leaderboard for duo any percenter. So we could actually get top 4. Like if it's a duo any percenter. So like even if we didn't go fast, like we would be number 4. Dude, like it's like
that's like the Guinness Book of World Records where you start a new world record and I was like I have a world record for something and just slow as shit.
Dude, this is actually legit. I'm gonna send this to you and we should do this. And then you could literally go to like people and be like, oh, I'm a speedrunner. Oh, what do you speedrun?
Tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac motherfucking toe.
Which one?
You could be like a top 100 speedrunner in the whole world. Top 5 even.
What's there's different speedrunning things. Is there different speedrunning things in Hades? There's like different categories.
Yeah,
right?
there's different categories. The community picks is one called any percent. So that heat.
Yeah, that's the heat one, right?
The heat, like that means you have to have at least 1 heat on, which is like already it's hard for a normal player.
Yeah.
But somebody who's like pretty good can clear a 1. That'd be easy. Like I can clear 1 in like why? I mean, I have done it plenty of times, and I'm like 600 and something right now in the world. So yeah.
Is there glitches in? There glitches in Hades?
There could be undiscovered, but people don't use them. It's just like
it's not like one of those games where you like would glitch through stuff.
Yeah.
You don't like phase through walls and swim through lava.
I've seen like Spyro the Dragon speedruns and stuff though.
Yeah.
And like those are funny as fuck. And then also Pokemon speedruns, I've seen them where like, you know, in Pokemon Blue and Red.
Yeah.
When you go to the Elite Four early, like before, like after you get your starter and you go left, where the main keys are, and then Gary challenges you and he has like a Pidgey and he has the other one that battles you.
Bro,
you know
that fucked me up so hard.
It's tough. But like there's a way in a speedrun you can get past him. And you can like get past, there's like specific spots you can go. You get past all of the guards who check if you have badges and stuff.
Yeah.
You can get all the way to the Elite Four and then skip all the Elite Four members and go straight to the final boss and then skip them. And then like.
Yeah. There's I remember, I think I just saw like Pokemon challenges like release a thing where you're like, it's the, where there's a glitch you do where literally you turn around from your room and walk down 1 step and suddenly you're at the credits.
Dude, no way. It's like a 5-second speed run.
It's like a 1 minute speed run. You have to go back and then you have to like turn off your game and then come back and put it back on and then go to the same file.
God,
and then you're there.
No way.
And you're literally
That's hilarious.
No. I was like Jesus Christ. Some people I was streaming because I was doing the Cooking Mama stream for
the food
Cooking Mama one, and I bought all the ingredients to make the Cooking Mama dish, right? And then I realized that you have to, in order to make those dishes, you have to unlock them. So I was literally sitting there on stream for like freaking out because I was like trying to look out how do you beat Cooking Mama in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There was no way.
Wait, is that the speed run? 5 minutes?
No, I think the speed run is
it has to be like 45
hours.
Oh, 4 hours. Okay.
Because you have to get gold on every single recipe.
Oh god, that sounds tough.
And then but like I was trying to look at like cheats and stuff. I at some point I was just like sitting there and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make pie.
Dude,
I
saw that pie. It literally looks like it was like a cartoon pie. Like
it looked so
you
cartoony.
know, like you know how like everything's perfect in a cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was like the perfect looking pie of all time. It was like the perfect, like if you know what I'm talking about, the perfect tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
Speed run looking like pie shape. It was beautiful.
Okay. I mean, it's just like it's ironic because I didn't even like that pie that much.
What was it? Raspberry?
It was a strawberry. I'm not a big fan of berry pies though. Like that's just my thing. I'm not a big fan of. I like some fruit pies. I like fruit cream pies, like the banana cream pies and stuff.
What about like? Have you had Julian pie? Oh, wait, I brought you Julian.
You brought
pie.
me Julian
no,
pie.
Sorry, man.
But even that, I was not a big fan of I like the apple pie. But
Yeah,
I think it's
apple's
like the
good.
poison. You're a cake guy.
Yeah, like honestly, like I go back and forth.
I'm gonna make you a pie cake for your birthday or a cake pie. Would you
sounds
prefer
good.
a pie cake or a cake pie?
What's the difference?
That's a good question.
Like I was imagining like a cake layered with pie on top. That would be like
I think
pie
a
cake.
cake pie is a pie.
Oh, with cake inside.
With a kike inside.
Ooh, a
Cake,
cake.
a cake inside. A cake
A
inside.
pie with a cake inside.
And then a pie cake is a cake with a pie inside.
Ooh, I'd probably pick. Dude, I feel like I gotta pick the pie with the cake inside. Because
Really?
pie crust, very good.
I would pick the opposite. I would pick the cake with the pie inside. So instead of frosting or like around the frosting, it's just a pie. So it's
So
like
wait, you're picking cake with pie inside. Oh, does that include the crust?
yeah.
'Cause
So
I was
it's literally just pie.
So I was imagining like, okay, so when we did it, I was imagining pie, like everything on the outside of a pie, you would just like put around a cake, and everything on the outside of a cake, aka like the icing,
yeah.
you'd put on a pie. I didn't imagine it the way you did.
No, like so. So there is a guy who's done this.
Okay.
There is a guy who's done. I don't think anyone's really done. I mean, there's brownie pies, which counts as cake pie, I guess. But no one really did a cake pie where there's a cake inside a pie as a cake filling inside of a pie. Mm-hmm. I think it's doable. It's definitely doable. But there's people who've done pie cakes where you basically put a cake and you do one layer as a cake, and then instead of frosting or with your frosting, you basically mix your frosting with pie, and you put that on top, and then you put another cake layer, and then you frost the whole thing.
That sounds so good.
It's
Fuck.
so instead of
Sounds like diabetes
it doesn't sound like that.
and diarrhea. Both,
Sounds like
I guess.
it just sounds like dying, dude.
Just die in general.
Dying. Yeah, I mean, so it's just going back to the original thing. Like we've been just fucking busy. We've been busy as shit. Like just doing everything, adjusting everything. I mean, you've been upping your content amount, eating Pokemon cards, stuffing them in
all the
curry.
good, all this, whatever the fans want, I'll do it.
Wait, go. Why did you start eating Pokemon cards again?
Well, I don't just eat them. I want to get into
No. Start with that.
I do eat them, yes, but sometimes I want to like catapult them. Sometimes I want to throw them into the ocean. Just depends on whatever
so
I'm
it's just littering.
feeling like. Yeah. Well, they're made out of cardboard, so like it's not that bad.
Some turtle's gonna die because
I've never done that. PETA, don't come for me. It was just an idea. But anyways,
while I was streaming Cooking Mama, someone I forgot who it was. Someone posted on the chat and was like, by the way, you guys know that PETA released their own version of Cooking Mama?
really?
Yeah, and there's a PETA version.
Is it like vegan mama?
I don't know. I think it's like knowing PETA, they do that all the weird shit where they're like this is look at how we process. I guarantee you it's like fucking Cooking Mama and devil horns with like a knife like cutting like pigs or some shit.
Probably. Dude, by the way, how's the manga book club, man? Because I attended the first meeting, or the first, live stream. It's like so much fun, dude. Like the Muscles and Magic, I actually am like,
dude, I'm excited.
Dude, I want to follow that shit because
I
that like looks really good.
I want to put it out there.
You already did in a previous podcast
I'm going.
episode,
This
so
podcast
you're good.
is 100% I knew it. I knew it was gonna be.
This man called it was an anime in like our second episode ever, and then it became an anime.
I'm telling you,
That was and we recorded that episode like literally a year ago, or like 10 months ago or something.
There was just a feeling, but it's super. It's Mashle, Magic and Muscles. I would the manga book club thing. I haven't done the second one. I'm doing it this week. The week of this is March 10th. Week of 10th. This is on the 13th.
It's a 13th.
13th,
today.
yeah. So I'm doing it probably Friday this week.
Nice.
We were both for our 9-to-5 jobs. We were both at Washington D.C. for a business trip, and so pretty much all of last week, we kind of had to more or less pause everything because we just wasn't there.
Yeah, like we had content on the back burner, but it wasn't like we're actively working on it.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like we make content and we release it the next week. So you don't really feel the impact until the following week in which you don't make content, and then like nothing's there and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Need to like work twice as hard, or you do that before you leave and then you have some stuff ready. So
I think let's get into that, or let's talk about Washington in a little bit. It's about time we need to take a break. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Random question. Okay.
What's
First of all, before we get to the random question, how was our experience in Washington D.C.? Because we went there together, and actually we didn't really go together. I barely saw your ass for whatever reason. But
what?
I barely saw your ass for whatever reason.
Yeah, we connected for like 20 minutes at the Natural History Museum, or the National History Museum.
I think it's the Natural History.
Natural?
I think it's natural. We went to the Smithsonian area. Yeah,
whatever. We connected for like 20 minutes there over drinks, and then it was like, boom, you get pulled aside by like somebody else you know at the company.
Your manager, your whatever.
It's hard because it's like a big networking fest because nobody ever like sees each other for like over a year, and then you like see everybody in like 2 days, so you got to talk to everybody possible. So making it sound like it was a big like business thingy, because it was a business thingy, but it wasn't, because we were all getting like we were drinking every night and like.
I mean, that is a sales thingy though.
Yeah, super salesy. Yeah.
Super salesy. Like we're in sales, and one thing I've come to realize, like all the jokes and things you hear in like college for business colleges, and they're like, oh my god, the sales teams are fucking drug addicts and alcoholics. Like, dude, no, that's real.
It is true.
That is 100% true. That is.
Yep.
The things me and Riley have seen, like people.
Yeah, we can't talk about it on the. Yeah, it was from like 5 years ago, you know.
Yeah,
but
we can't. No, I mean like. Not us doing, but like
right, not us doing. I was saying like we can't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, we can't.
But yeah, I for sure have seen things. I know you have, just from you telling me.
Yeah, it's
so
just like,
yeah.
The shit we've seen people do is like kind of. I kind of had that moment of like, man, this is fucking Wolf of Wall Street ass here.
I mean, they want to play that persona, so we just let them do it. But I mean, I don't partake because I'm just like, this is fucking bullshit. Just get me out of here, you know. But like,
yeah.
I mean, like guys that are really into sales, they're doing all that stuff you think sales guys are doing. They're doing it.
They're doing 100%, and it's a weird dynamic, right? Because I felt like I almost felt like the people who were really networking this was like an amazing venue in all honesty. Like we're in the Natural History Museum with unlimited drinks, unlimited food, with like eating around dinosaur bones and
yeah.
Like
if you've ever seen Night at the Museum, that big T-Rex fossil thingy.
Yeah,
we were in that room, but instead of it being that big T-Rex fossil thingy, it was a what is it called?
It's a mammoth.
It was like woolly mammoth.
With a woolly mammoth.
Fossil.
Yeah.
Big fossil structure. It was sick.
Yeah. And so I remember thinking this, is that I'm not sure if you had this moment too. I'm walking around and we're eating. After I was done eating and had a couple of drinks, I was like, I want to see everything. I want to see everything. And so I was walking around, like legitimately looking at everything, looking at all the beautiful things that probably cost so much money.
Yeah.
Like, and also
or just don't have a value.
Don't have a value. Like,
because they're one of a kind.
What do you put a value on the fossil of a giant sloth that died like millions and millions of years ago?
Or a 50-foot long squid.
Yeah, there was a fucking giant squid.
That shit was dope.
Right?
That was sick. That was sick.
It was like, and then I swear there's like people who didn't leave the center room and just was talking.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like,
I was one of those people, but I went there earlier in the day when there wasn't alcohol, and I was just with Lindsay. But
Yeah.
When I went back later, I was like, dude, I'm just hanging out here because I've seen it
Yeah.
all. But to your point, if you hadn't been there before, it'd be whack as fuck just to sit there. And
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, I mean, obviously there could be a thing where some of these people already went, and that's cool, whatever. But at the same time, it's like I can't imagine, like, there's international people. There's people from different countries,
like Germany, and, like,
Europe,
Japan,
Japan, Asia, Hong Kong, and everything. And I was like, how are you guys not gonna like look at everything? Like, this is amazing. This is, and I don't know. I always thought it was like I kind of walked away from that in like kind of a weird taste in my mouth with some like very businessy people.
Yeah.
And then I already have a little weird taste in my mouth with very businessy people, where they're like it's like they give me the same vibe sometimes of those guys who kind of like stroke their own dicks on LinkedIn. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
They're the self-help warriors. Like they read like highly habits of effective people and what's that one? Grant Cardone's like, I don't give a shit or
okay, I'm sorry. I hate Grant Cardone.
Dude.
he's so dumb.
Just air it all out, dude. Air it all out.
God. There's so many things where I'm like, okay, like there's one thing which is like we need to like tone it down a little bit. It's so fun.
Are we blasting people's ears?
We need maybe a little bit. But like there's like this I have this thing where I don't hate, but I feel like a lot of motivational speakers are kind of useless.
Well, they all say the same thing.
In my opinion. And there was a motivational speaker at our at our conference. And I'm not gonna say who it is or what they do.
Oh, no way. You didn't like that? I thought that was cool.
It was cool for like,
dude, you're like the third person that's told me like, oh, keep going. I'm sorry.
It was cool for like 10 minutes. And then at some point I was like, this motherfucker is literally just telling about how cool his life was,
dude.
And it had nothing to do with business. None of it had to do with business.
Man.
None of it. Not a single. He mentioned afterwards, like a little bit later, he was like, yeah. And then after my time as doing, but he was like, I'm not gonna say exactly because you can figure out who it was, but like,
yeah,
he was
doing the thing that
he was like, yeah, he was a fighter pilot. He was a pilot who did.
He's a pilot guy.
Yeah, he was a pilot guy who did really cool things in his life, and he was explaining his story and all this stuff and inspiring kids with being a pilot and doing the what's that movie?
Top Gun. Well, that gives away. I'm sure someone can figure it out. But
no, but he was doing Top Gun-ish things.
He worked with the people who did Top Gun. Yeah.
Yeah. He was doing. I meant he was doing Top Gun-ish things. And then I was like, and then after all of that, after 30 minutes or something, after he was like, yeah, and I did a business, and then he moved on from that thing, and I was literally like, that was like the one piece of useful part of information that you could have gone off of.
Man, see, you're like the third person that told me that saw that. Like about motivational speakers, but I feel differently about them than I do about like the self-help book guys because like
also for like okay before you move on, I kind of hated his voice too.
He sounded okay. You say it first.
He sounded like a Muppet that was high.
Oh no, you know who he sounded like was Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Oh my god, he does,
dude. That like I'm sorry we just blasted your ears, but like he literally was Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Oh my god.
Like we had a motivational speaker come up and he was a pilot and he sounded like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, literally to the point. Like
he was like
it was amazing.
Like, what's
up, man? I flew that jet.
Oh my god, that's so true.
Zoinks! I can't do a good Shaggy voice, bro.
Bro, you look like Shaggy though.
I know, bro. Dude, I used to look like him even more when I had longer hair.
Anyways, but yeah, no, it was just like a little. I know it was a little bit too much of this like moment of like. Yeah, my life is awesome. I was doing all these cool shit. I inspired kids to do all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't feel the motivation. I just feel like you. If anything, I feel like you're telling me to go join the military.
Okay, it was a little bit of that, like join the like, you know, he played up that whole like I didn't get a high school diploma and I was in the military and I succeeded and you can too type of thing, like. Yeah. But I don't know. I like hearing good stories like that where he's like, I flew this one time and this kid came up to me and said like I inspired everything like in his life and shit. And then like it was like a true story. It wasn't like just him bolstering his ego. Like I like hearing that shit because I'm like, dude, everything you do has an impact on somebody, whether you think that it does or not. And I love those stories so much.
But okay, to be fair, that was literally at the last 10 minutes of the whole time.
Yeah, he sold his book first, and then he told the story.
Honestly, I was like, dude, I legitimately thought that was a really cool part of it.
That was
really cool. That was a really sick part of it. But that was like the last 10 minutes of everything.
I loved, like, I agree. Like, he was trying to connect being a pilot to being a salesman at a SaaS company. And I'm like, okay, like, I feel like you can make that connection in any industry or anything you do, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I tame tigers just like you have an influence over your prospects. Like, we can get a tiger tamer to come through. We could get an alcoholic. They'd be like, I took the drugs of sorry, I shouldn't say that, but like I took drugs and got addicted, just like you make your clients addicted to your services. You can make any correlation, like literally. It's just how that shit goes.
Yeah. So okay, I'll explain your. We're going to dive into this because I'm very passionate about this.
All right, let's go.
So explain to me why you think motivational speakers, and I will make it clear for what I mean by a motivational speaker that I personally don't like and for one that I do.
Okay.
But explain to me why you like them.
Okay. And right before I say what that is, I think I just need to say this out loud. We both agree, though, that self-help books literally all say the same thing, and they're almost all complete bullshit, right? Just agreeing?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yes.
All right, and if you're listening, make sure like you've noted that in your brain as well. So,
yes.
Anyways, the reason why I just need to say that out loud because this is our platform, so we do whatever we want around here. And I need to make sure none of you brainwashed self-help book lovers are like reading like 10 self-help books and being enlightened because like doesn't work like that.
Some are okay. Some are good. Some legitimately are good, but some are just not. Like some are just trying to sell you. And hey, look. At the end of the day, this is our opinions. If it helps you, and if you feel like it actually helps you,
I guess,
and you move on from it, like if you do your thing with it, like more power to you, man. Like that's good for you, dude. Like I'm happy for you, but
no, bro. Dude, there's literally 3 self-help books you ever need to read, and after that, you don't need to read the rest of them. It's like they all say the same thing. It's like. You could be like Walt Disney and be a big picture thinker, and then the other thing is like, don't say I all the time and talk about yourself and like shit like that. I'm like, okay.
I own a $1 million $1 million bunny, and I've made money through selling bunnies. And
Yeah. I feel like, okay, well, fine. How about this? I know you asked me a question. I'm just going to ask you one back, and then I'll answer the motivational speaker. What's one self-help book you actually did read where you were like, man, I feel like this is worth my time, and like I feel like other people could read this or should, maybe should, but like this has value, like beyond like the cover.
So I break self-help books into kind of 2 categories, and there's ones that in generally 2 categories are biographies and ones that are supposed to be teaching you something, motivation or teaching you something. Most of the time with biographies, I think that's fine, and I think they're good, actually. Because with biographies, they are... you're not telling someone specific things to, do this because it makes you successful. Think this way because it's going to make you successful. This is going to make you millions and millions of dollars. Biographies are explaining their life. Like they're
like they tell their story like a motivational speaker would.
Not necessarily, because a motivational speaker.
I'm just fucking around.
No, because no. Here's I'm getting the fucking into this, dude. No, motivational speakers. That's the difference. Is that if you write a story and write it out as a book, you can choose to read it. A motivational speaker at a fucking sales conference with a pilot. That's where it pisses me off. Where I'm like.
I know, I'm just fucking with you, bro.
Why does that have to be a thing? Like, if you're going to have someone speak at a fucking sales conference, make sure they're in business or actually sell. Like, actually sell.
Oh my God.
If they sell or market. Like, tell me.
Like, I was a top salesman at Salesforce or something.
I would have respected that. Like, I would have 100. I started this business and got this many clients so I could start this business. And then you say why you did that. That would be so much more useful than any of this fucking bullshit about a plane. What's with planes? Last year it was a plane girl too. Was she?
Yeah, she was a plane girl.
What's with all these planes?
Oh my God. Holy
Anyways,
shit, that was funny. So give us a self-help book.
biographies are.
What's a biography you would recommend then?
biography? I think Imagination Inc. from Pixar is really.
Oh, dude, I haven't read it, but I have it in my room.
It's good because
Is it worth it?
Because it's the story. First of all, it's the storytellers from Pixar telling their story. Awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That is cool.
That's one that's really cool. And I think that one can apply to as a general one for anyone is really just a cool story to read, as well. Just to learn, just not really to learn, but just to read and have a cool story and understanding how things work.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's really cool because it's not preaching about doing this to make your business successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's preaching. It's not even preaching about it. It's telling like, hey, we had this problem and we did it, and there was a conflict. There was a conflict and there was a solution.
Mm-hmm.
There was a flat line. There was a happy ending. There's all of these different motivations that make a story, and that's what makes it interesting. And then you can take that and you can apply that to whatever you want if you choose to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel like you're forced to.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about biographies and autobiographies is that they tell the story of what they did, and they're like, you choose to or you don't, whatever, dude, do your thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like because that's just them saying something. I don't feel like I'm forced to. Maybe that's the rebellious side of my life, but like the second,
like you want to feel like you're not being told like, hey, you need to do this. You want to like kind of digest it for yourself, use your critical thinking skills to be like, is this actually like gonna help me? And then like you kind of utilize it in your own way.
Yeah, not just that, but it's also, is it applicable to my life? Because the idea that pisses me off, where on the other side of things, which is like teaching things, right? It's just telling you to do things, is that do this because I guarantee you in your path in your life, because I know everything is you're gonna make money. What if it doesn't apply to me? Fuck you. I'm gonna do it the opposite way. Like I literally have that mentality of it. And so it's where if it's someone telling their life, you almost feel like you're learning in a third person and observing in an experiment. And then the other one where there's the ones where I feel like I've actually taken something from it, where they teach you something, is honestly how to win friends and influence people. Like just that one, because it's the same prospect of how it's done in the biography side of things. He doesn't tell you to do something. He gives you an example, a story of how he built or how he taught. Yeah. And then you can take that and apply it to your life.
Excuse me.
If it fits your life. And it's not about, and it was never about making money. It was never about growing a business. It was literally about how to make friends. And if you need to, influence people. And I feel like the aspect that annoys me a lot is the money aspect and the success, and like I throw money in there. I don't remember really that many times in the story where Dale Carnegie was like, yeah, this is the secret to my success. I was like, no, this is what I do to talk to people. And
gotcha.
People. And that's the thing with me. And then a lot of the other ones, they probably have good information, but I think when you get something from a book, maybe it's the cookbook side of me that's like it should be technical, right? Tell me what I should do, tell me, not necessarily tell me what I should do, but here's instructions, here's things like. I
was about to say, because like you didn't like self-help books because they would directly tell you what to do, though, right? Just to make sure.
There's a directions, and there's like telling you what you need to do because you need to do it.
Oh, I see. So like taking that approach of like, if you do this, then it will result in X, Y, and Z kind of thing.
Yeah, like. This is the aspects.
Sorry, I'm not challenging your way of thought. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, no, I get you. No worries. Like, think about it in the sense of like, I guess a cookbook is a really good example, right? You look in a cookbook, and it gives you recipes. Recipes that tell you the steps to do something to make this happen.
I see. Like it's actually going to happen. It's like if you actually put eggs, milk, and flour and do all that, it's actually going to result in a cake. Yeah.
Like if you do like a sales book, right? Right. It tells you if they say this whole entire thing like, yeah, there's one thing which is technical skills of telling you like, oh, apply a story by doing these methods. This is how you do those methods, and this is how you speak, and it gives you a percentage of what's the outcome, right? That's one thing. There's another thing where they're like, yeah, I made millions of dollars doing sales.
And it's because I didn't say the word I when I spoke to someone.
Yeah. And I hope that makes sense. But there's also a feeling when you read these books, right? There's a feeling of, I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another feeling of, this is what I did, if you want to apply it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what do you feel about that? Do you agree, or what do you think?
Well, while you were talking, I was thinking like, what's my favorite self-help book? And it's actually a biography. So I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense, because I was actually gonna shit on not Seven Habits. Sorry, I would shit on that one too.
Yeah.
But I was gonna shit on Dale Carnegie for How to Win Friends and Influence People, because like I feel like everybody that's into self-help books. And I for sure, people will probably side with you because everybody like that's into self-help books loves that book. But I read the book probably like 6-7 times.
Yeah.
I understand the concepts.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man.
No,
like,
I fully.
It's just not. I just don't think it's like that good.
Yeah,
Really
I can fully understand and agree with that concept. Like that's just, I think that I'm not. I mean, I was put in the position where I had to choose like a self-help book, like, oh, you need to do this one, like I feel like because it was honestly like the first one that really like and then from there like whatever reason 20 years later everyone started writing it.
Yeah, I feel like you could read, honestly though, like, okay, as much as I would say not to read that one, I would say if you did read that one, you probably wouldn't have to read like a lot of self-help books after that. Like literally that's like you could probably read that one
and you probably wouldn't
and you
have
probably would be good to go.
Yeah,
the other one is probably like what's that one by Grant Hill? I like that one a lot. It's like it's about being a big picture thinker. It has the penny on the front of it. I don't remember the name of it, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a self-help book. Who cares? But the one I was going to suggest to you was the movie actually is coming out too, Shoe Dog. That's
yeah.
Like we should go see that actually when it comes out. I have the book in my room too, but like for those of you who don't know, it's about like Nike's start. And I read it because my old company like made us read it as a group exercise or whatever.
Seems like a dumb idea to have your
employees
read an entrepreneurship.
Dude, they knew I was starting a business too and they hated it. So I don't know why they did that shit. But I was like, all right, whatever. And it actually inspired me to work even harder.
Nice.
But it's a good book, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about like, I mean, you've seen probably the trailers for it. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't, don't click away. Just keep listening to us because I don't want you to click off this video.
or go on, keep this going, and then go on another tab.
Open a new tab. Yeah.
And then put it on there, and then play it. And then play it. Pause us for like 1 second. Okay, and now you can watch it again.
Oh wait, actually no, hold on.
Wait.
All right, leave a comment below. All right, now that you've left your comment below, we'll continue with this.
What'd you think of the trailer?
Anyways, how was that trailer? Are you inspired?
I've always wanted to do that.
All right, if I don't see a comment from you, I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, Shoe Dog is one of the main ones. It's probably like one of the last self-help books I read because I don't read them very often unless my old company forces me to. But that was like actually pretty good. But yeah.
I think I was gonna say Imaginary Inc. was probably one that
I'll read Imaginary Inc. I haven't read it actually, and like it's been recommended to me. Like you're the second person now.
It's good. It's really good, and I'll say that you mentioned it too with the self-help book on the other side where it's teaching you something, right? Mm-hmm. When you were talking about Dale Carnegie's like book, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People, and why like you don't think it's like why you don't really personally enjoy it, is that. I think you made a really good point, which is that if you read that one, you're good. Like you really don't need any other ones. Yeah. Because the one I think that annoys me the most are the ones that was like build these habits.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate those.
God, you're just like, dude, I get it. Like,
so we gotta take a break, but I'll say this. Nearing the end of the break, I've legitimately had moments where they're like, make sure you wake up early and
I was just gonna say that.
Make sure you wake up early.
I swear to God, I was just gonna say that. I was like, dude, I've read 7-8 self-help books that are like, early bird catches the worm if you meditate every day for 10 minutes.
Meditate. Yeah. Make sure to
Dude,
exercise every single.
No shit. Of course.
Wash your face with cold water.
Like, duh. You know, exercising. Oh, it's a good thing. Wow, thanks. I definitely need to know that exercising. Yeah.
Oh, and then those.
Oh my God.
Those are the worst. Those I fucking hate. Anyways, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna move on.
We
might
gotta
stay
take
on
a
this.
break.
We're gonna take a break. All right. Anyways, we were talking about. Okay, that was about self-help books.
Yeah,
so we were about.
We started going down the motivational speaker route, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I saw how passionate you were, passionately, like fighting the urge to say like "fuck you" everybody that does like motivational speak. Like I could see it in your energy.
No,
It was crazy.
Let me preface this. If you do that for a living, if you're like, don't do it to an audience that doesn't apply to you. Like,
Dude.
like, I feel like if you are a motivational speaker, that's awesome. Good for you. First of all, if you go to a place, if you're booked for somewhere, right? Please make sure that they actually do what you did. Like, and then when you do that, and when you go there, make sure you apply what you're saying to what their job is, or what they're meant there to be. Like, if the guy we were talking about was speaking to a military school of people,
or like the Navy or
even just
Army or whatever,
high school kids picking a job, totally understandable, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, makes so much more sense. But like when you're in a room full of salespeople or like business people that pretty much were just hung over to shit, including us.
Dude, that was a wild night though.
Like,
I was like 6 cocktails deep and like had fucking ravioli all night. I was just eating that shit like Italian food.
It was great.
So good.
Anyways, what's your thoughts on, because you like motivational speakers at times.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
why?
like it actually like I'm never cried to a motivational speaker, but sometimes I've been like, damn, that was so fucking poetic and like epic and shit. I just like feel like crying. Like, it's so good.
What do you feel when like, because I've never felt motivated by motivational.
Well, you know, it's so you know how like when I play story based video games, you know how like I can't get in the story, I just skip the dialogue, and you're like, oh, I love like the story and the characters and stuff, but I just don't give a fuck. I care about the gameplay.
Yeah.
I feel the opposite way about motivational speakers. I'm like, man, this is a good story. It has like a climax, like it has a good ending. Like I'm just like super into it. I just like hearing like different perspectives I thought I would never hear my entire life. Like I never once thought I would be hearing from that type of person as like a pilot. Like I never thought in my life I would have the chance to hear a story from them.
Yeah.
So for me, like I take it like a lot more emotionally. I'm like, damn, that shit's like cool as fuck. And I like I'm kind of like, I mean, everyone knows that's been listening. Like I watch like The Bachelor, I watch like reality TV and stuff. Like I like the idea of like a good ending where like everybody like is happy at the end and it's just like there's tests and trials. Like I like a good story.
Yeah.
And I like when it comes from like motivational speakers. I think that's cool.
I think I would agree. I mean, obviously I love a good story, and I mean we're a fucking anime comic book.
Yeah,
like,
we should.
Yeah, we need to. But the thing is, I think
like anime has made me cry grown man tears plenty of times.
Dude, I think I've cried during Steins Gate. Like it was, I cried. No, I cried during One Piece. I don't give two fucks. I cried during.
Was that the last anime you cried to?
What is the last anime I cried to? That's a good question. I gotta think about that. Anyways,
sorry, random question. Anyways, continue.
We can answer that later. But
yeah,
like,
I'll think about it too. I don't remember.
I will say that I think it's just time and place, right?
Yeah,
it's context, right? When I'm in a business setting and I'm in a mood for a business setting, and I'm like trying to, I'm wearing a suit and tie, not tie. I'm wearing a suit, right. And I'm in a business setting. And you're trying to give me, and the way that it's portrayed or it feels like is that you're giving me advice. It's like, okay, what advice are you going to give me? And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for advice. I'm not like, it's a different thing if he was a TED Talk and I'm listening to a random TED Talk. That's a different setting. It's a setting thing, right?
I see.
It's an application thing, right? If you're a motivational speaker and you're trying to motivate someone or give advice to someone, about something, first of all, please give advice and don't just talk about your life.
Stop. The motivational speakers aren't supposed to give advice. They're supposed to motivate you. Like, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I think the expectations are different. Because when I sit down and listen to a motivational speaker, I'm like, I'm about to hear someone's walk of life. I'm not like trying to get anything out of it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm a sponge. Just make me cry and we're good.
I just don't think I feel motivation in that way. I feel motivation when I see. Okay, for example, we just had a meeting with our web designer. Shout out to you, Jamal. You're awesome.
Dude, I love you, Jamal, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So I felt more motivated listening to him speak about opportunities where you can do. This is what you can do to get to that place. Like, this is what it is to what you can do for your website to make things happen, to get more clients, to do this. That's where I feel motivated. I feel motivated because now you've given me skills and tactics that I can apply. I don't think I've ever really felt motivation as an emotion from something like from just a pure story, right? I feel happiness, I feel inspiration, which is cool, and I feel love, I feel all those things, but motivation and inspiration are two different things in my mind.
Dude. Okay, well, I mean, I agree. Like, I think it comes and goes. Like, sometimes stories do it for me, sometimes they don't. But, like, to your point, I think there's nothing more motivating than hearing someone, like, and this has happened to me recently, too, with someone, like, that we both know. I won't mention the name or anything, but, like, they came up to me and they were like, oh, like, I see what you're doing. And, like, I believe in, like, what you guys are trying to do. And, like, I get that sense every time I talk to Jamal, too, or he talks to us.
Yeah.
Like, I hear him, and I'm like, man, like, that is actually I agree completely. Like, when people are like, dude, I see what you guys are doing, but not only just that, but, like, I believe in, like, your cause. Like, that, to me, does get me, like, pretty, like, fired up, too. So I totally agree with you. But I think, like, from a story perspective, I do like to hear. I wouldn't say it actually motivates me. It's just, like, I like to hear stories. Like, I like to hear different people's perspectives.
Yeah, I like hearing it too. It's just that it's again, expectation and time and place, right? When we're there, I expect to learn something.
Yeah.
In that context, right? I expect to learn something. And I don't feel that way when it's a TED Talk.
Yeah, I feel it.
Because a TED Talk, the whole point of a TED Talk is to tell your story. Tell unique stories and perspectives. And as I said before, if he was doing that at a TED Talk, the expectation would be different, and I would probably enjoy it a lot more. Because I'm not expecting to learn something. I'm not expecting for advice, or maybe I am a little bit, but I'm expecting an interesting story perspective that maybe I can apply to it. But I don't know. There's a kind of hypocritical aspect of that between the motivational speakers and then the self-help books, but those are two different contexts as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I don't know. But yeah, that's just it's something that's always bothered me. I don't know, every single time, because it comes down to, I think, the when we were mentioning this before, when we're talking about those books called, like, it's like build habits this way and do this, is that I almost feel more motivated. Here's the thing, I feel motivated to do the exact opposite of what they do and then be successful.
Yeah, I feel it, and then be able to, like, stick. Well, for me, it would be like sticking it.
Yeah, it is.
Like, yeah, I don't know if that's being petty or what that is, but, like, I'm all for it. I mean,
bro, I was sleep like
the thing is, like,
I slept later the moment I saw a video where, like, you gotta fucking get up early, get the worms, and you get successful, and you want abs like these. I worked out every single day that week at night for that reason,
dude. Well, dude, I feel like you and I are, like, very much the same, which is a good and a bad thing, because we're both kind of like this sometimes to each other. But when I hear someone who's so, like, matter of fact about something, I'm just kind of like, dude, it's not black and white. Like, there's a lot of ways to achieve the same goal, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just, like, it's like a red flag. It's like, dude, there's no critical thinking going in here. It's like, do as I say and, like, you'll be successful. It's like, no, like, now I kind of just don't want to listen to you because you're an asshole telling me what to do, But, like, I feel like we're both that same way of, like, I don't want to be told what to do. But like, I feel like we're our own worst critics because sometimes, at least I feel this way. I'm very much like, well, if you just did it this way, then like it would work. But you know, like what I mean. But I feel like we're both that same way. And like, well, I want to do it the Jordan way. I want to do it the Riley way. You know, or like for us, it's like I want to do it the Gain EXP Fitness way. You know, so
well, I mean, like that's the aspect. I think in all honesty, someone who starts a business is a person that is kind of like that, where they're like, fuck you and your way of doing it. I'm going to do it my way.
We're going to like give it 110% and go all in something that's different.
That's different. Like I love what you called, I forgot if it was here or it was somewhere else, but I love the term that you gave it, which was toxic positivity.
Oh yeah, bruh.
Dude.
Toxic positivity. I hate that shit, bro.
I mean, there's a difference, I guess, when you have employees, and maybe when we do, we might have to be a little bit more on that sense. But I feel like I would try to be a lot more real. You know, I feel like people would respect it. Like
one of us has to be positive.
Like obviously,
I mean, we're both optimistic, but like it's not about being like toxic positivity. It's like overly positive. It's not about being like optimistic. It's about being like, oh my God, I'm gonna blast you with like sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, like that's like I'm not gonna be like, hey, our business is going out of business, or we lost revenue this week, like, you know, shit like that.
But it's like, okay.
But it's more of like a, hey, look, being real. This is what's going on. It's what we want. It's what we're trying to go for, and this is our goals, man. Like, try to be real. You know, I feel like people respect realism. Like people respect someone that's literally telling you what's going on and telling you like, hey man, it's tough. It's a hard life. Like, you know, that might not work for everyone. But I feel like that's what gets to me as a person. Yeah.
I mean, I'm similar to you. I'm very like just dry. I'm just like, just tell me how it is. And I'm probably more sensitive. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm more sensitive than you about it. I would say like we just are in our different ways, but like sometimes I will take it personally. So sometimes I do need to be told like in a different way. But yeah, like there are some people that do need that toxic positivity though. You know,
yeah, no, there's definitely people that need that.
I can't wrap my brain around that, but I know that those people exist. So
I know we know people like that.
We do,
and they're great people too.
They're absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're no different than you or I. It's just like the way that they compartmentalize like motivation and stuff. It's like it's different, but I can't understand it. I can only like see it and then like adapt and stuff. So.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you on that. And it's just it's a weird thing. You know, people work differently. You know, on that note, it's actually in a matter of like how we work. Because I remember thinking of this question. I wanted to bring it up on a podcast one day.
Perfect.
And it does kind of have to do with what we were just talking about in terms of like growth and like how we motivate people and ourselves as motivation. If we had to start Gain EXP all over again, you went back to like, what was it, 2020? 2020 or 2020 when we started this. What are the top 3 things you would do differently as a business perspective?
Yeah.
Or maybe even in yourself, but it has to apply for the business.
Wow, that's a good question. See, it's like kind of loaded because we started this during the beginning of COVID-19 lockdown. Yeah. So take that with a grain of salt. And also, just so that people know, like I've done freelance graphic designing on my own. I've had notable clients, but I've never been like, I have this vision of a big business, and neither, like we've had aspirations, but we never like have been like, we're doing this like big business. Like we want to create something important to the world. So just to make sure like everyone knows, like we're coming from a background of little to no experience. Yeah.
But same, like the question is the same setting though. Like it's back to 2020,
COVID. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify. People know that like we're coming from a place of like we're just starting from the ground up, and we have like kind of no idea what we're doing.
You isekai'd back.
I just want to make sure people know that I'm not like, oh, like this is my third business, and like, or this is your like second or whatever.
No, we're just taking from the perspective of like how we learned, and maybe if you are trying to do something like back to the story thing, this is our story, and maybe this is what we learned, and if you want to apply what we learned, then do it, and if it doesn't apply to you, then Go fuck. I'm kidding.
Okay, if it's okay, can I do 3 things we did right and 3 things we did wrong?
For sure.
Okay, cool. Because I want to start with the right things. Because
Yeah.
like there are some things I really do need to get out there. One, working together was a right thing. Like us coming together for the same cause, that was amazing. Because like starting something by yourself is fucking tough, dude.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like if it was just you starting Gain EXP Fitness?
Bro, I don't think I would be able
like
to do that.
you know where we would be, like you know where you'd be, like it would just not be like we wouldn't be here sitting here like having this podcast, you know. So like number one, I would say like find somebody you want to tell a story with later on down the road of like, hey, we did that. Like I feel like that's super important, at least to me. Like when we're like older and grown, like want to look back and be like, dude, we did that, you know. So like I'd say find somebody you trust, do it with. I'd say like be creative always. Like it's always important to be an artist. I think that's like a big thing for me.
And you were happy that we were creative about it?
Yeah, we were super like openly creative. We were very like, I have this idea and I wanted to share it with you, so here it is. And without that, like we wouldn't have gone down the road of like these character programs based on Thor, and we're doing like hammer curls based on like the Mjolnirs and all and everything that goes into that.
I think off of that, like going what another thing that like off the creativity part of that is that we were open to the creativity about each other's creativity.
This is true, and I don't think that's changed for us. I think like it now becomes a lot more like less of the beginning stages of like I just have all these creative ideas, because we're very like focused and direction. We have a direction now, so it's very like
we do have to be more critical of each other and ourselves now too.
Yeah.
Like I have to like Riley has to call me out whenever my audio is shit or like or something. Yeah,
it's true.
And I have to tell him if like I think maybe like a joke isn't gonna hit, or like maybe it might be accidentally racist.
Yeah. Stop. Okay, we're not going there.
I mean, the vice versa is true
but
too.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like, that
that
happens every day. But and like it's needed. Like
not
to
the
be
accidental
real.
racist part.
No, not that. Not the racist part. just being a real part. That part has to happen all the time. And I think I'll just leave it at that. Those are, I mean, I was going to say 3, but that's fine. But then the 3 things I would, or however many things I would do differently, I would say,
that's glass, by the way.
Sorry. I'm tapping my, it's a really tough question, man.
I can start if you want to think about it. Because I thought of the questions, I thought of answers too.
It's okay. Give me like 2 seconds and I'll think of something. I think differently, we should have, man. Actually, you just go. I'm sorry. I thought of like some good ones.
No worries. So
things differently.
In a very, I'll do the things differently one, and when you go, I'll think of the ones that we did right. Like, so in terms of like things that I would say specifically, things differently is that I learned this very recently by talking to a tax accountant. Is that we definitely should not have started a business, like not started a business as in like us talking about a business, but like file a business as early as we did. I personally think like everything else could have been done the same exact way, but just to save the extra $500-600 or $1,000 almost of all of the different things.
Yeah,
I feel like we could have like pushed it back just a year to like when we were actually ready to sell. And I was talking to a tax accountant, like a business tax accountant about that. He was like, yeah, you're not supposed to start a business until you actually sell. Like you actually are ready to sell. Even like maybe even sell a little bit first and then
start seeing real like growth and stuff.
Yeah, like because it was like because the for anyone out there, like we're lucky with the fact that I know a business tax accountant giving us like discounts and everything, and giving us easy advice, and doesn't cost much, or it doesn't cost anything at all.
Yeah.
If you did this, if you started at the same time, it would be probably 3 times as expensive.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, because of the paying for
that's expensive. Yeah.
Filing for the taxes, filing for all the stuff. It's just because I know that.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, so it would have been $5,000 more on just on that aspect. So I think number 1 would have been that, which isn't really a big change on the overall timeline. It's literally just like don't file for a business until like a year and a half later.
I see.
I think the second thing probably would have been starting and hitting social media earlier. than we did.
Right.
And taking advantage of the COVID wave. That would have been like the COVID wave of like people who were
being inside on their phones all the time.
Inside on the phones, me doing my cooking thing in Twitch and all that, and you doing your thing. It probably would have blew up a little bit more or a lot more than it currently is. And I think that's just, again, like a timeline thing. It's like doing the same thing but just earlier, this one later.
Yeah.
And I think the third one may be not building the programs until we actually got the degrees.
Yeah, we spent
so much time building a program.
Oh man.
And then redoing it after we got our
dude. We made like 4 or 5 different versions of one program, man. Like it's fine because we have something to like build on now, but like holy shit, dude. Like that shit would take me like I spent a whole week on one program. And I'd be staying up to like 1 a.m. every night, and I was like, "Fuck, man." And
now, honestly, now that we have like the format down, but like we could probably build a program in like a day. Like
yeah,
maybe
no,
less,
like
in
probably
like
give me 2-3 hours, and it's like boom, it's in your inbox, you know?
Yeah. It's like 1 month it'd be there. It would literally be done. Obviously, if you have a bunch, it's like a little bit different, but like. I think those are the main 3. Like literally, just like wait a little bit longer for the 2, and then the I would say the social media one is just start social media earlier. Start the social media maybe not the brand because that wasn't fully thought out yet completely.
Yeah.
But more ourselves so that we'd have more marketing for our brand when it came out.
Yeah, I think part of the reason, at least for me, was. Like, dude, it was like kind of uncharted territory for me.
100%. Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like nervous to get going again. I was like, man, like, to your point, it's like hard to stream, but for me, it's harder in other ways. I'm sure you experience it too, but like having eyes on you is like kind of nerve wracking for me. So I was like, I don't know about posting as like, you know, it takes you kind of have to jump over the hurdle. And I feel like you, out of the 2 of us, were the one to do it first. And then like I followed you. That's another really good thing about having like somebody in it with you is like sometimes you're like, and one of the things I was gonna say is like sometimes you're like, man, I don't want to fucking do that. Like it's hard, like video editing.
Yeah.
And then like one person does it, and you're like, fuck. Like I can do it, and like I have to do it.
You feel like the asshole, and you're like,
yeah.
Right,
it's like somebody has to start it, but like when it's by yourself, it has to be you every time. But like when you're with somebody else, it's like those days when you're like, man, I really don't want to fucking do taxes today, and then somebody's just like, I'm gonna do them, or man, I really don't want to start posting on social media, and then you see the other person doing it, and you're like, fuck. Like that means I have to do it. Like,
yeah.
But then once you do it, it's fine. But like the initial, like this is gonna be.
It's
hard.
like the gym. It's like the gym when you're like, you'll feel like going until you get there, and you're like, all right, I'm happy.
Yeah, like you are like, fuck this, and then you show up and you're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like I like this. There's a lot of cool things about. So, that was gonna be the main thing I was gonna talk about. Actually, was like in terms of what we could have done better. Was like the social media thing. I think we could have started a lot earlier on that.
Yeah.
I really don't know what else, because I think like we kind of just went our own path, which I think is cool. I think like I could have
invest in games.
In what?
Invest in GameStop.
Yeah, AMC, GameStop, all of it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I don't really have like it's hard for me to be like we should have done this better, because I feel like, and not to toot my own horn, like literally the same as everybody else that's listening to this, I do not think I'm better than anyone else. I'm just saying this as like openly as I can.
Yeah.
But like I think we just did it our own way, and I think we did it good.
Yeah,
like even if there were mistakes along the way, like even if you did it the right way, you would have made different mistakes. So and like with how much work I always see you putting in, like it's hard for me to be like, well, you and I should have done things differently. Like it's like we're doing it the way that we think is best. And I don't think I like when I don't think of it like that too. Like I mean, like it's just more of like if we were to start give advice to somebody else.
Not necessarily give advice, but like if we were to give it another go, like a very technical, like physical thing, not like that's why I was like, oh yeah, do this earlier, do this later. Like it would just save money,
for sure. Yeah, dude, man, seriously. Like the other thing I was gonna say was like when we had those moments of like oh, I don't really feel like video editing. And then like, or remember, okay, so story time really quick. I know we're running out of time, but like story time, like we looked for a video editor for like over a month, I would say.
Oh yeah.
And then we just decided like we have to be the video editors. We can't just hire somebody.
Yeah.
But like, imagine if we would have just been right away, like we just have to video edit it, you know?
Yeah.
Like we would have saved a whole month and we would have been a month ahead right now. But
Yeah.
I say it just comes down to the just not being as indecisive. Like,
Yeah.
like people like at some point in our like Gain EXP Fitness careers, like it or not, we're probably either going to have to learn how to run ads. We're going to have to learn how to code. We're going to have to learn how to like do all this bullshit we don't want to do, but it's part of the process and it'll make you a better entrepreneur. So
yeah, I think that's too. It's just like one thing I guess is just being more open, because it's all we always say this and we always think it too, but like in the moment of it, you're like, maybe I can just pay someone else to do it. And it's like, and it's the worst of it is the fact that you have the money to pay for someone else to do it a little bit, and then you realize you put more effort into looking for someone than you could do it. Don't mind you, like understand your own skills and where's the limit of it, and then you can offshoot things that maybe is better for other people.
yeah,
But like
even right now, like good example,
artists,
we're that too. But what I was thinking of was the marketing firm thing. I was like, remember we had a conversation about potentially hiring someone to do marketing for us. I'm like, man, $50 a month, that sounds nice. $100 a month, that sounds beautiful. But it's going to be the same shit as video editing. It's going to be like a month goes by, we do some demos, then we realize, dude, no one's going to come to save us.
Yeah.
Like, no one's literally going to show up our front door and save our asses from having to do marketing. Like,
yeah.
we're just going to have to do it. Like, it's just how it is, unfortunately. But
Well, I mean, anyways, that's time, and I mean,
yeah, I went on a fucking tangent. Sorry.
No.
Sorry,
No,
my
that was
bad. My bad.
No, that's all it is, man. That's the whole podcast is a tangent. Literally,
Yeah.
this is a tangent.
Yeah.
This is a tangent in our lives. Like, anyways,
For real.
I'm JorJor EXP for every single thing. JorJor EXP, probably going to change. I'm thinking about changing my Instagram back to JorJor EXP and just keeping everything else as JorJor Cooks. So just look out JorJor EXP and then you'll probably find me somewhere. So JorJor EXP for Twitch and Instagram, JorJor Cooks for TikTok and YouTube.
And then make sure to follow the main Gain EXP Fitness channel. We're on Twitch now, boy. So we got Twitch, we got YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. What else is there? TikTok, Instagram, Discord. Oh yeah, we have a Discord server too.
Yeah.
Duh. So make sure to follow Gain EXP Fitness. That's the main thing.
Yep.
And then lastly, my stuff is Doggo_EXP on everything I listed for Gain EXP Fitness. That's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, Instagram,
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
All right, peace, y'all.
BlackSinglesMeet.com.